Have you ever spent hours worrying about something, only to find out it had nothing to do with you? A friend replies with one word, or your boss says, "Can we talk tomorrow?" And suddenly your brain starts connecting dots. Did I do something wrong? Are they upset with me? What if they don't like me anymore? What's strange is that nobody actually said any of those things. Nothing happened. But it still feels real. So why are we so quick to make things personal? Most people think taking things personally means they're too sensitive. But that's usually not the problem. The real problem is that your brain hates missing information. When something feels unclear, your mind immediately starts looking for an explanation. Why was their message so short? Why did they sound different? Why haven't they replied? And the uncomfortable truth is that most of the time, we don't actually know. But the brain doesn't like not knowing, so it fills in the blanks. Psychologists actually have a name for this. It's called personalization. The habit of taking incomplete information and turning it into a conclusion about yourself, a delayed reply or change in someone's tone. And somehow the explanation becomes, maybe they're annoyed, maybe I said something wrong, maybe this is my fault. But here's something even stranger. If your brain is filling in the blanks, why does it usually fill them in with something negative? Why not? Maybe they're busy, or maybe they're distracted. Maybe it has nothing to do with me. Because your attention isn't naturally drawn to the explanations that feel good. It's drawn to the explanations that feel important. And negative possibilities almost always feel more important. A delayed reply grabs your attention faster than a normal one. A change in someone's tone stands out more than a pleasant conversation. Not because those things are more likely, because your brain treats them as more urgent. And when something feels urgent, it starts feeling true. But here's what's interesting. Most people aren't paying nearly as much attention to you as you think. Researchers once asked participants to wear an embarrassing t-shirt and estimate how many people noticed it. Most thought the number would be high, but it wasn't. In reality, far fewer people noticed than they expected. The study revealed something surprisingly human. Psychologists call this the spotlight effect. It's the tendency to overestimate how much other people notice us, as if a spotlight is following us around, highlighting every mistake, awkward moment, or flaw for everyone to see. But in reality, most people barely notice what we're worried about. They're thinking about their own lives, their own conversations, their own insecurities, which creates an interesting situation. We're worried about what everyone thinks of us, while everyone else is worried about what everyone thinks of them. And that should make things feel a little lighter, but sometimes it doesn't. Because some situations stay with us longer than others, and there's a reason for that. The things we take personally aren't always the things that hurt us. They're often the things that confirm a fear we already had. A delayed reply doesn't hurt everyone equally. It hurts the person who's already afraid of being ignored. Criticism doesn't hurt everyone equally. It hurts the person who's already wondering if they're good enough. The event isn't creating the wound, it's finding one. And that's why two people can experience the exact same situation, yet walk away feeling completely different. Because one of them is reacting to what happened, and the other is reacting to what they think happened. And that's an important difference, because the fact that something feels personal doesn't automatically mean it is. Feeling rejected doesn't always mean you've been rejected. Feeling judged doesn't always mean you're being judged. Feeling ignored doesn't always mean you're being ignored. Feelings are real, but they're not always evidence. So instead of asking, "What does this mean about me?" ask, "What else could this mean?" Maybe they're busy, maybe they're distracted. And that's really the difference. Not between confident people and insecure people, but between people who believe every story their mind creates and people who learn to question that story. And here's the thing. Sometimes people are upset with you. Sometimes criticism is real. That doesn't change. But most of the time, the thing you've been taking personally was never personal in the first place. Tell me in the comments, what's something you later realized had nothing to do with you?